my soul sisters. No matter how near or how far, you are invited to a platform where we uplift, encourage, and motivate you to be exactly who you are. Soul ties, soul tribes, solutions, and soul infusions. Come join us as we overstand and undo the divinities that have been placed amongst us on this very land. So what can you expect? Crown checks, temperature checks, microphone checks. Wait till you see what's next. Welcome, Soul Sister.
Yep.
So are you guys up to taking this assessment with me? We're gonna do a mental health assessment. I just want to know. I want people to know where they are. This doesn't have to be shared with anybody else. But know where you are. Know where you stand in life. Know where to get the help if you need. Know what help you need before somebody else diagnoses you. You should know where you stand with your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So take the assessment with us and we'll discuss it after.
Are you going to drop it in the chat for people? Can we share it for people to have access to this? Great. Yay. Oh,
Take this assessment with me, guys. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can show my work to this beautiful network.
You sent this to me.
I love this.
15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, good Lord.
15 to 20 minutes.
I went through it earlier. It's really not that long. Let me know when you guys have pulled it up.
I got it. Up. Yeah, I just didn't do side by side. Yep, I got it up.
Are you able to read the questions? Because I can't see them.
You can't?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So it is 60 questions.
Hold on. Oh, dang, it's 60 questions. I didn't realize that. I'm giving them a few more seconds, 30 seconds to go. All right, let's do this.
Okay. So you want me to read?
Yeah, because I can't see the screen and I don't want to pull it up.
All right. So the questions below ask about anxiety and worrying. In the last 6 months, have you experienced any of the following symptoms? If so, how often? Number 1, I was very anxious, worried, or scared about a lot of things in my life. Never, a few times, sometimes, often, constantly.
Let's say a few times.
That's good.
So
I'm gonna say sometimes.
I was very anxious and worried and scared about the. Okay, the next one. I felt that my worry. Hold on. I felt that my worry was out of my control. I felt that my worrying was out of my control.
Oh wow. No. I'll say never.
We can just go back to back, Mo, if you'll do that with
never. That's way out.
Never.
That's nothing out of your control.
That is so true. Nothing is out of your
nothing
control.
That serious.
Nothing is out of your control. The one thing I've learned in life is the Buddhist way too, is detachment.
There you go.
If I've done everything that I can do to make a situation right, like I have a clear conscience about it, and I've tried everything and it still fails, I'm not going to have that worry on my back.
No.
Okay, what's the next one, Mo?
Number 3 is I felt restless, agitated, frantic, or tense.
I do when I'm driving sometimes.
So
Because
does that
you
mean
watch
you're
Tony and Kate drive.
road rage?
I admit I'm in recovery. I'm working through that right now. And it took Denisha to really call me out on it though. One day when we were together, she was like, "You need to learn mindfulness." And I was like, "I've been learning mindfulness. I know, but that person, right? Not bringing it back to the self, right? But that person, no accountability. But I did have accountability later. And okay, so no, never for me.
A few times.
Or no, a few times. Yeah,
For me, a few times. Restless, agitated. Yep. That frantic, putting those all together is kind of like, maybe one or two of those, but not all of them. That frantic throws me off.
I don't know. Okay, the next one. This is me. I had trouble sleeping. I could not fall or stay asleep, or didn't feel well rested when I woke up.
In the last 6 months.
That's not fair. That's not a fair question. Because I stay up until 2:00 in the morning.
That don't count.
Everything and wake up at 6.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say a few times.
I have to agree with you on that. I would say a few.
Because sometimes things keep me up.
Ooh, okay. Sometimes people experience a sudden, unexpected wave of intense anxiety or panic, usually lasting not more than 15 minutes. In the past 6 months, did you experience such an attack with any of the following symptoms? If so, how strong were the symptoms? Not at all, mild, moderate, severe. So these are the physiological. My heart would skip, beat, was pounding, or my heart rate increased. This says sudden, unexpected wave of intense anxiety or panic.
I'm gonna say mild, just because when I'm driving.
Okay, I can feel you on that.
And I think it's more because of the environment we're in, though. I don't want to offend anybody on the streets because it's like Denitra said, I'm scared.
I was sweating profusely.
No, I ain't sweated profusely yet.
Let's say,
but if this is you, make sure you answer honestly, just for yourself. Like,
yeah,
know where
absolutely.
you're at. Know where you're at. Know where your mentals are. Know what you need help with.
My hands, legs, or entire body were shaking, trembling, or felt tingly.
What do you think that would happen under, Mo? Like, what type of situation would that happen under?
Well, they're talking about a panic attack, like unexpected. This says unexpected wave of intense anxiety. So that's like
some just like
unresolved thoughts that you've got that just suddenly just popped up. Like I'm trying to put it into context without a situation happening, because this is saying unexpected. So if you're responding to a trigger, that's not an unexpected response.
Right. So it's just like maybe just like something happens and you can't control yourself. You can't control your anger. You can't control the shaking, the trembling, or some thought comes across your mind and you can't control what your bodily functions are doing because you're in this space. Does that make sense?
If I'm shaking my leg, it's because I want to do something and I'm keeping it to me. I'm dealing with it internally without going external. So you might see it on me, but I wouldn't say that that's like, I guess that's an internal, it would be like an anxiety attack, but not, that's like being triggered, you're triggered by something external or even a thought, but usually it's an external factor.
Right.
So if I'm doing all of that external stuff, it's because I want to do something. It's probably not right.
So I'm going to say not at all.
Right. I agree with you. No, I'm gonna say mild because there was, but no, because it wasn't. This is different. I
I
had
can see
difficulty
being
breathing.
triggered by something and start shaking out of anxiety. Mo.
This says sudden, unexpected wave of intense anxiety or panic, usually lasting not more than 15 minutes. That's like an internal switch flips on and you just panic and you don't even know why. That's what, to
Right.
me, that's what this is describing.
Okay, that's fair.
That's I'm gonna say not at all because these are
I
these
know
are
that I get that anxious, like again in the car, Um,
see, but you're aware.
right. Okay, I had number 8 is I had difficulties breathing or swallowing. I'm gonna say not at all.
That'd be like
Girl, no. Yeah, don't have no problems breathing or swallowing, guys.
not for something in your head, a thought in your head that prompts you to like panic.
No.
No, that's an internal.
But I get like if something catches my breath, is that like, you know, like during a panic attack, I guess, yeah, that's maybe what
It's
during a
shock.
panic attack, right? You can't
This is
breathe.
interesting because it's interesting because it's hard to discern if this is asking you about an internal
I think we're
state.
looking too deeply into it.
I'm not owning none of this stuff if it don't apply to me.
Don't sign your name at the end of the session. Okay.
Like they didn't say because somebody did something to me. Shoot. Okay, number 9 is I had pain in my chest, almost like I was having a heart attack.
Another panic attack question, huh?
Yeah, all of them. That's what they. Not at all.
Difficult. No, you gotta do the number 8.
No. Oh, number 8 was a
No, no,
not
no,
at
no.
all. Number
We're
9,
just
I
moving
had pain in
along.
my chest,
Right. You don't have to do all
like I
this.
was having a heart attack.
What do you think? No, I've never had that type of panic attack.
And they're talking about in the last 6 months.
Definitely
You know.
not in the last 6 months.
Right.
But you know what happened though? I think I had those type of problems when I was in a situation that I didn't need to be in.
So you got number 10?
Yeah. I felt sick to my stomach, like I was going to throw up and had diarrhea.
Hey. No. Nope.
So if you're
Must say
feeling
not at
like
all.
this is another anxiety question.
Yep, these are all along the anxiety, panic attack. Um, 11 is I felt dizzy, my head was spinning, or I felt like I was going to faint.
Yeah, another in the situation anxiety question. Felt no, not at all. I felt dizzy and spinning. Like I can't
Right.
think of a situation where I felt dizzy before. Under pressure. Pressure has gotten me there where I felt like I couldn't like just instantly. I guess that may be mind over matter though. Oh Lord, number 12. And those was both of those you could put mild, 10 and
I,
11.
I had cold or hot flashes.
Honey, I don't think that's a fair question because we 40. And I have those all
It
the time.
would be hot for no good reason. I don't know about that.
I have those all the time. So yes.
Yeah.
No, mine is moderate.
I'm gonna have to be.
Are you having hot flashes yet, Mo?
I be hot and don't know why. Like,
I be cold and I don't know why. I have hot flashes, but I'm cold a lot of the time too. But I wonder what that has to do. Like, is that's still anxiety, huh? That's still in the moment anxiety. And I know that I have those like when I have
yes,
to do a test.
yes,
I get
yes.
clammy and don't want to, you know,
Performance
yeah, just
anxiety,
performance anxiety. Yeah.
test anxiety, all of that. Coming on the show
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Always actually. Always
Like,
actually. If I wasn't talking to my friends, it would be so different. Okay. 13 is I was scared that I would lose control, go crazy, or die.
ooh, dang.
So that brings us back to our conversation earlier. Like we're always in a flight or fight.
Right, right.
So
So for
sometimes I
me,
feel like I'm not in control. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm
but why
looking
would
at,
they
you know
put
what I mean?
die with that?
Because you're fearful for your life, for you losing your life under whatever
Right,
circumstances that could be.
right. The
So,
losing
yes.
of
So,
control.
again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, we obviously are suffering from some mental health issue, some underlying issue because we are afraid.
Right.
We're afraid that we're scared that we may lose control over our
PTSD.
own walk in life. We're afraid that we may die in certain situations. We're scared to go to places. So just know that that is definitely something that we deal with on a daily basis. We're scared. So
This
yes,
is
I'm
what
scared.
Nature was talking
Moderate.
about, being afraid to be out and be safe wherever. Like,
Is that going to create PTSD?
which,
The being afraid.
yes, I think so.
Will it have
Wasn't
long
it
lasting effects in our generations?
the research on, what did they say, on Chirac being the equivalent of not even just being in Chicago, but that children growing up in the inner city is likened to being in
A war
war,
zone.
war zone, like literally. That what Denisha describes about that fear of going out and being safe, being able to move about safely. Um,
Hmm.
we're on
All right.
14.
Okay. This is um, moderate.
Oh, that was 13.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I was on what did I put? I skipped ahead. I said mild. Mine is a little more along that fearless kind of, I don't know, not as worrisome, even though I know it's bad. I just can't worry. I just be crazy.
So 14, how frequently do you experience panic attacks in the last 6 months? See, again, I feel like I'm experiencing those every time I'm in public now because of the vigilancy that I have to be
Mm,
on.
dang.
So I have to say every day.
So you feel like that whenever you go out and you're in public and engaging with people, you have a certain hypervigilance about yourself that makes you in that fight or flight. Like you're always
Yeah,
like,
I'm listening, I'm looking, like I'm intently
yeah.
looking at people like Denitra has said differently, maybe even stereotyping, oh, you crazy or not crazy. You look like X, Y, and Z, so you might be you might do X, Y, and Z. Um, yeah, I'm
So do
always
you
there.
get a feeling of this
Nothing's
overwhelming,
happened yet.
sudden
You said
anxiety?
like physically,
Yeah, like all of a sudden you just
like that.
hurry up and not hurry and get to your car.
That's
You
stomach
know,
wrenching. So, like, if I'm in a store, I go get what I need. I'm not dilly dallying. I'm in and out. I'm watching, even if I'm standing in line, I'm watching my back. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm, like you said, I'm in
Yeah.
a war zone. Like I'm
Yeah.
having to be
Yeah.
cautious about my every move and everybody around me.
Yep. Agreed.
So I'm gonna
Agreed.
say at least once or twice a day.
Dang.
And I know this may be different for other people, but I'm just trying to give examples on
Absolutely.
where I have
That's
these
so
panic
good.
attacks at and how I look at them.
Wow. Look at number 15. Did you purposely avoid situations or activities in which you might experience a panic attack?
Indeed, I'd rather go to
Wow.
the store at 11 o'clock at night than to go at noon.
So you're less fearful of moving around at night than you are about having to be around many people in a small place.
Facts. And I don't know if COVID did that to me as well.
Yeah.
I really think that COVID had a lot to do with that fear, that instilling that fear in me. But definitely. And since I can be honest though, since 9/11, I've been fearful, period, about everything. Have I stopped flying? No. But when I get on a flight, am I vigilant, overly vigilant? Yes. Am I overly vigilant about the people that are in an airport? Yes. But even stereotyping doesn't give me any solace. Um,
That's deep.
so
Sis.
sad because again, how to, I want to just show how we are still dealing with with mental health issues, even if we don't see them, like even if we don't recognize them ourselves right off the bat. Because I wouldn't say that I have a mental health problem, but taking this assessment shows me that there's things in it that are happening in life that are traumatizing me, and they're penetrating my armor of steel.
And how do you deal
16,
with that?
right?
So the next set of questions will be asking whether you experienced a traumatic event and how you reacted to it. How did you experience the traumatic event? Directly, I was a victim of a traumatic event. Yes or no?
Over hella. Um,
I witnessed it in person happening to someone else. I learned about it happening to a close family member or friend, or I was exposed to it as a result of my job. Example, paramedic, police officer, firefighter, etc. So this is a different category of.
okay,
Oof.
so directly, I was a victim of a traumatic event. Yep. Yes. I
Yeah.
witnessed it happen to a person. Yes, Cynthia, many times this has to do with our focus. God did not give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. I always call it the intruder alert. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! So
Yes,
did it
yes.
happen to us? Did we witness it? Did we learn about it from a close family member or friend? All those, yes.
Yep.
I was exposed to it as a result of my job. How can you feel that in your job, Mo?
Yeah, hostile work environments and crazy people everywhere. You don't gotta be a paramedic, police officer.
Facts.
Right. The anxiety that somebody could feel because they got a overbearing boss or coworker that's toxic. Like it could be anything on the job. Steep. Over this, come on.
Yeah, I
In the
have to
last
say yes
month.
to all those
Oops,
personally.
sorry. I'm avoiding answering them. I'm sorry.
Because I think that
Yeah,
even as a Black
yes,
woman,
yes.
when we're in the workplace, it's just harassing.
Yes,
Point blank.
yes.
I'm haunted by my memories, flashbacks, nightmares about the events. Yes. Monique, do you ever have flashbacks? And nightmares. I don't
You know
have
what I'm
nightmares, but
going
I
to
definitely
use?
have memories of flashbacks.
I'm going to use the example of the car accident that I was in. I was hit by a drunk driver last summer. Not this, but 21. And yes, every time I drive past the location where it happened, some days, every time I pass down the freeway, I replay the tape of what happened there. I can still see the marks on the barrier where my car hit. It was like it's still very, very fresh to me. I can hear the screeching of the tires, the way it sounded like hell. I had two
Right.
babies in the back seat screaming and crying while my car is spinning out. I had a semi truck coming at me. I'm perpendicular. I'm blocking traffic. Semi truck coming at me. I'm trapped in my seatbelt. I got to take both of the babies out because I got hit by a drunk driver. I was out at 10 p.m. dropping my granddaughter off to her mom. So I'm wrong. I'm guilty. There's guilt. It's like I shouldn't have been out the house at night. It's
Right.
10 p.m. in Sacramento. It's still 100 degrees. The city's still moving, moving, moving. 10,
Right.
that's early. So that I didn't press the issue on that in terms of, the accountability and the lawsuit and all that. But I didn't realize the mental implications that it would have on me further. I didn't drive again for about 6 months.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah,
Scared.
one, and I'm just using a car accident as an example. So
Right.
trauma
Something that happens
affects
to
us.
everybody every day.
Stuff that people go through can affect you in different ways in your brain, how you process it, how you're able to. When they say processing your trauma, like these buzzwords and what do they mean and how do you do it? How do you get through it? But it's work
How
like
do
this,
we
this assessment right here.
with more than foods and drinks like medication, vaccines? You know, you believe that close and try to until we find out
Oh,
what's going on.
absolutely.
You want to speak to that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's Miss Cynthia, she's right. That's the what's going into your body. That's the whole environmental picture of trusting the man, and taking the stuff that they give us, the fear factor that they use to intimidate us, to take their things, consume their drugs and medicine and whatnot.
You know
So,
what it is
absolutely.
though? Is a lack of self knowledge. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
why are we not going out and learning the information for ourselves? We have the World Wide Web at our fingertips now. Everything there is factual, but typically you can weed through the craziness and find the truth to everything and anything that you want to know. You
Everyone doesn't have
homework
the
assignment.
aptitude.
Go look and see what GMO foods that you are eating now
But
connects.
some people don't
Oh, sorry.
care. They don't know to care. Some people just don't care. They don't have the they don't care. They don't know to care. It's like everybody is not the same. Everybody's not built the same.
You're
It's
right.
really difficult. It's a really
I mean, everybody has a position to play, right?
yes,
In
ma'am.
society, in life. Not everybody is going to get on board, but as long as we are doing our part to get the information out, to get the tools out, we've done our
Yes, ma'am.
part.
That's it.
We can't
That's what we
lead
want to do.
the horse to oh, we can lead the horse to water, but we can't make it drink, right? We can give you all the information that you need in the world, and that's what we're here to do, to just open up your mind to just understanding what we go through, and to heal yourself, because you have the power to heal yourself. Okay, so the next one is, I frequently feel fear, guilt, shame, or blame myself or others for what happened. Of course,
Yeah,
too easy to be
absolutely.
lazy. Just believe what people tell us. Facts. Cynthia says we're too easy to be lazy. Just believe what people,
It's
and
too
we just believe
easy.
what people tell us. Too easy to be
It's
lazy.
easier. Absolutely.
Why? I guess, I mean, are we just here to be a number and then go away? I
Shoot,
don't
some
get it.
people. I'm sorry. Some people. Everybody doesn't want to be self-employed. Everybody
Oh,
doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody doesn't want to lead themselves. Some people want and need to be told what to do. So
I missed 21, Mo. I lost trust in humanity myself and began expecting the worst of others and of other situations.
ooh,
Yes.
that's terrible. That's terrible. I would
That's
say,
what they were like. You got PTSD.
yeah. I'm using my car accident. I started looking at. I almost became like kind of racist.
Which is
I
so
got hit by
counterproductive.
I got hit by a drunk Mexican. And then a drunk Mexican ran through and ran down our fence. So it perpetuated this whole, and then another hit my aunt. So I'm like, so this is how people think about Black people. It's like, oh, they're all this stereotype, but it's because it actually happened.
Right. So, is it
So
okay for
no,
this white boy to have
absolutely
shot
not.
this kid because he has had this happen
No,
to him before? Right. So
nope,
we just gotta be careful of what we
nope,
put out if we don't want that to come back.
absolutely, absolutely. It
So
was it
yeah,
was wrong.
I would definitely blame liquor and the laws. And you know what I
But it
mean
was
on that
wrong.
situation.
I'm saying how something like that could happen and you lose faith in humanity or a people based on a repeated act of the same people doing you being on the receiving end of some trauma from that repeated. But no, do I really feel like that? No, absolutely not.
I know
But
you don't, but this is half the problem with America right now.
this
This
is
is half
it.
the problem with what
This is
happened with
it.
this baby that got shot and survived. Bless. Um, is that people think just like this?
It's true. This is it. What was going on in the man? That man was 84 years old.
Yeah, he was
Check
just
like his
yeah.
whole picture. Like is
To be
just
honest, I won't
brutally.
be surprised if he takes his own life before he does any time. His road is over. Like he knew what he was doing. Damn it. Okay. I lost interest in activities that I used to enjoy. Well, yeah, because I'm scared to go to a concert right now.
Yeah.
And if most people that know me
Oh,
know that concerts are my life, and I'm
yeah.
scared.
Yep. I feel it. I would say yeah, because like I said, here in the summertime, we come outside when the sun goes down. It's
I
hot
know,
in the daytime.
girl. You know I know.
Now it's like my husband looking at me like, can't go. It's like it's not even
Right.
safe. You. I look
And nowadays,
crazy.
even if we have a chaperone, it really don't matter because
I can't
yeah.
move like that.
Anyhow, okay.
So
Uh,
yes,
24. I can't see
I
it, Mo. What does
became
it say?
I became irritable or enraged because of minor issues or for no reason at all.
Well, never for no reason, but it's always for a minor issue, like road rage.
It could be minor, but
Or, or when I feel like somebody that is not white, I mean, not black, that is taking their privilege beyond measures. I'm like, no, you're not about to do that. And I instantly become irritated and, you know, become that black girl that nobody really
then
likes.
you are likely to speak up to that person in that moment rather than just
Yeah.
taking the L.
Just happened to me at the Gig Harbor Starbucks today.
So convenient.
Because I felt injustice. Injustice makes me irritable.
Irritable.
Yeah. And it was something minor too, super minor. But nonetheless, carry on. We're a quarter through. Let's get through this.
Okay, in the last month, did you experience any of the following symptoms caused by a traumatic event? Choose yes, choose no or yes for each option. Um, I became reckless or took unnecessary risks. I'm gonna say no, not that.
No, yeah,
No,
because I'm scared.
no.
I'm scared to be
No.
reckless or even take
Yes,
any
like
unnecessary risk.
that's self harm. That's a self harming. You know,
Yeah,
ability.
but but understand it becoming reckless, doing things that will be out of your normal. That can be promiscuity. Is that how you would say that? Um,
Promise. Yep.
that could be um, going back to an old way of life.
Have
Um,
it. Absolutely.
see if that's your trigger. See if you're doing
Yeah.
reckless or engaging in reckless behaviors that you know that are not necessary or not a part of your walk to becoming better. Okay.
Absolutely.
Number 26, I became excessively vigilant, tense, or on guard or jumpy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My I'm gonna say my PTSD again. I just
Yeah.
facilitated my I'm always like, my God, mom, give me a break. I just facilitated a group of dysfunctional family roles. You would be amazed at how much of this dysfunction is handed down from generation to generation. But
That's
think
right.
it's normal because we don't have to. One of those things is I'm gonna just put it out there, although I'm on the borderline about it, but it's really whooping your kids,
It's a big deal.
right? Generationally, we've known this, but we that's another story, that's another topic.
That's
But
a. Yep.
you see, like we're starting to learn that that's not the only way to correct children.
Yep.
Like we don't have to beat them, but that's definitely or beat them or whoop them. That's definitely a generational thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
27. Can't see it.
I had trouble focusing. I had trouble focusing, concentrating, or remembering things. Um, in the last
I
month.
do in the store when I'm like under those that tense. Like
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go in and get 10 things, but I only got 5 because I was stressed. Like because I'm so vigilant about my environment.
Yep. Yep.
Like on guard. I'm always on guard.
Preoccupied with other things.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
preoccupied with making sure that my safety is okay.
Yep.
This could also
Oh, that's
occur
good.
just
Yeah.
in the normal day, especially if you're under stress. Kendra, you finished already? How you gonna finish before we finish?
Cause we
Um,
talking about it. She like click click.
I was hoping she was just gonna like go and lollygag with us. Why aren't you here anyways, Kendra? I'm gonna need you to be our other sidekick. Okay, so trouble count. Okay, so that was a yes for 27 for me. 28. I
Yep.
purposely avoided anything that reminded me of the event or certain people and places and objects and activities. Y'all, like that corner that the brother got shot on in Seattle in Capitol Hill. I was just on that corner and I was like, I don't want to be on this corner.
Don't want to be.
Although the threat is probably neutralized, I don't want to be on this corner.
That's deep.
So yeah, all day. Okay, 29.
I was unable to feel happiness, contentment, joy, or love, or had trouble connecting with people. I'll say
This
no.
is last 6 months still or ever?
This is the last month. In the last month.
No, joy overcomes me. I live
Yep.
in joy and contentment and happiness. This is the way that I'm able to manage my mentals is
That's
by changing my mental. So
That's right.
anything that makes me sad, I can find joy in it. Except death usually. But I'm just in the process of changing my mentals to not always not be pessimistic, but be optimistic.
Optimistic. Absolutely.
Okay. We're almost done. I mean, we're almost done. We're halfway done, guys. Come on. Okay. We think it's normal because we don't have anything to compare it to. We have the whole world to compare ourselves to. There's people that are actually living out here healthy, but it's just odd in America because it's not something that we see every day. We don't see healthy individuals normally. We're just bombarded by the craziness.
Yes. What does a healthy mind look like? What you just said about having the ability to control your thoughts and use joy, find joy. Yeah,
Yeah, controlling your thoughts, changing how you think, living in a more positive space, um, turning inwards, right? Next set focuses on feelings of sadness. In the past year, did you experience any of the following symptoms for at least 2 weeks? If so, how strong were they?
Mm.
I frequently felt sad, like I couldn't go on.
Mm.
No, because we're not going to live there no more.
Nope, that's a not at all.
It's the last 2 weeks. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to go to a concert in the last 2 weeks. But things that I'm doing the things that I enjoy.
Right. I stopped having fun doing the things that I used to enjoy. Stop having fun. So it's not that you stopped having fun doing them, you just don't allow yourself to do them. I'm gonna say not at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to move on. 32, I lost or gained weight without trying. 2, and my appetite changed. My appetite always changes, and it typically has a lot to do with like my mood. Nowadays, I follow a 1 meal a day, which is not healthy for everybody. So don't try this if it's not for you. I fast all day, and I eat after, typically after 4.
Yeah.
So I give myself like a 4-hour window between 4 and 8 to eat, and I drink liquids. I have 1 cup of coffee a day now, and I drink water throughout the other times to just fill in.
Yeah.
So my appetite has changed, but it's changed with this new diet or this new way of eating for me. This new way of life has changed with my happiness, though. Because I used to binge eat when I was depressed, and man, you don't realize that you're just eating just to satisfy some emotional.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
some emotional
filling voids.
Yep. Exactly. Food. Again, we just talked about it. Not all
Food
good for you.
Mood. Food is mood.
Okay, so 33.
Yep, I felt slowed down compared to my usual pace. This is in the past year that lasted for 2 weeks. Not this year.
Yeah, not this year for me.
But I can understand that. I can relate to this mood shift. I can see what this looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with that 33. Yes, when I was in a terrible relationship, that's exactly how I felt. It slowed me down compared to my usual pace because I was in a mental space that was not feeding to who I am. Right? It was like almost tearing me down. So I slowed down. Took myself, really just blamed myself for a lot of it instead of living in my purpose and not allowing some extra person to damage this. But nonetheless, just know that relationships have a big deal on your mentals. If that relationship isn't bigging you up, then that may not be the relationship for you. 31, I said I stopped doing. Yeah, miles. You can put mile there. 31. 34, Mo.
34 is, in the past year, did you experience any of the following symptoms for at least 2 weeks? Oh, did I miss one?
Nope.
Oh, you said one. Exhausted, mild, moderate. I've been there in the last year.
I felt exhausted.
Oh, wait, that lasts for 2 weeks? Yeah, no, I'm going to have to go with mild.
Yeah, not at all. No, that's not the truth. I'm mild. I'm always exhausted.
Yeah, that's
I'm always tired, but that's because I have a really heavy workload.
That's right. That's work.
I keep myself busy and I expect myself to be exhausted. That's how I know that I'm progressing personally. I felt worthless or guilty. Yes. That last relationship I was in, honey. And I'm not saying that he necessarily did it, but I was feeling that way. And I needed to distance myself because it was making me feel worthless and guilty. Guilty of not living in my purpose, to be honest.
Yeah, understand.
I really thought that, but again, that's all mind changing. We have to just
Yes,
change
it
up.
is.
If you recognize it, change it.
Right. I
I
recognize,
can't.
I identify with the guilty part, but not the
Yeah,
worthless part.
you just said that too with the car accident. Like you felt guilty that you
Right.
shouldn't have even
So,
been out there, although it wasn't even your fault.
right. Right. And then it's
Absolutely
like, well, guess what? These things happen at any time of day. So,
right. They sure do. Yeah,
you
and
know.
people like to drink early. I can't see 37, Mo.
36 is, we
Oh yeah,
missed.
36.
36 is, I kept thinking about death or taking my own life. Let me say no, not at all.
No, not at all. Not taking my own life. I think about death
Think about
because
death,
of the
right?
climate that
Right.
we're in, right?
Right.
Like I'm
Exactly.
like trying to make sure that whatever I have going on, and if something happens to me, catastrophic happens to me, what are my children going to do? That's the type of what I think about. I don't think about taking my own life, though, because life is precious, and again, if you are a Christian, it is a sin to take your own life. Remember that. And if you make sure that we do have the crisis line being tagged here. So if you need any assistance, please make sure you call the crisis line at 1-888-910-0416.
We gonna make
Okay.
it?
Yeah, we're gonna run through these. Okay. The sadness I was feeling made it difficult for me to function in my personal and social and work life. Yes, mild.
Relatable.
Of course, when you're sad and you're depressed,
You don't want to
everything is
do. Yeah,
a
you don't want to
downfall.
do. You don't want to show up.
Okay, 38. I experience unusual. Oh, you want to read that, Mo?
Some people experience periods of time when they suddenly feel extremely excited, bursting with energy, and like they can do anything. Such periods are often, but not always, accompanied by a period where they feel depressed. In the past year, do you experience any of the following symptoms for at least 1 week? If so, how strong were they?
I
Hmm.
experienced an unusual elevated mood where I was extremely elated, energetic, or irritable. Moderate for me. And I'm only going to say that because
Unusually,
unusually elevated mood, right? I'm going to say
yeah, that's
moderate.
interesting. Unusually elevated, where you were extremely elated, energetic, or irritable.
I don't know, Mom. I assumed that you were supposed to take your own life.
I've
Can
heard
you
that.
tell me?
I've read it in a couple of different
I
places.
assumed that, yeah, this is something that I thought
Yeah,
I was
no,
taught.
this is
Maybe that was a social construct. I experienced an unusual. Okay, we already said that. 40. I can't see. I had periods of time when I needed a little or no sleep, yet function as well or better than usual all the time. Moderate all the time. I'm always.
hmm,
I know, Mom. I was agreeing with you. I don't know that it says that in the Bible. I will actually look and we'll discuss it next week. But I was taught that it was a sin to take your own life. And maybe I'm incorrect. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Has anybody in the Bible taken their own life? So,
hmm.
I don't. I haven't studied the Bible in that fashion. Ask me something about the Quran. Okay, 41. Did we already do? Yeah, 41. My
Uh,
mind was flooded with thoughts, and I think more or faster than usual.
talked, talked.
Oh, I talked. Okay, I can't see it. No glasses.
Mm-hmm.
My mind was flooded with thoughts, and I talked more More or faster than usual?
More or faster than usual. I talk a lot, so
Um,
I don't think so.
yeah, but that's not you. I was gonna sneeze. Okay. All the rest of them are not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
starting to pace.
not at all. In the past year, did you experience any of the following symptoms for at least 1 week? If so, how strong were they? I started to tackle multiple goals slash activities at once, more than I usually would, or jump from one interest to another in an attempt to do it all. I have to say,
Sound like somebody said, like I was convicted. I love multiple
management.
tasks. It keeps me going.
Um,
I don't jump from
but it says more
interest.
than I usually would, so
Yeah,
if it
not.
was that disclaimer, kind of throws it out. I'm still gonna
Yeah,
go with mild
I'm gonna go with
because
mild
I've
as
been doing
well.
too much.
I take on a lot, and I think that has a lot to do with my mentals because I don't. I feel like if I'm busy, I don't have time to be sad.
They say an idle mind is a devil playground.
Right, right, exactly. And I'm trying to keep it
Stay
popping.
busy.
43. I got involved in fun things that, in hindsight, could have had a negative consequence. I can't see it. Carefree, unprotected says shopping sprees, unwise investments, excessive gambling. Whoa. Oh, you did put it up there. Um, I'm gonna say no because I shop all the time, so it's nothing
Okay.
excessive.
And see the unwise investment, but combined with fun things, I'm gonna have to say it wasn't fun. But I'm gonna go with mine.
Mild.
Their wording is a little tricky, so
I think they're trying to trick us.
being
I
honest,
would have told a smaller one, but a shorter one, but I didn't know.
you know.
Okay,
Uh,
so where we at?
I got this one. I experienced extreme mood swings from depression to elation without any apparent reason. That's a not at all for me.
Yeah, not
Yes.
at all for me either.
It's always something. It's not, just.
Yeah, there's always a pretty apparent reason for
There's
my girl
something there.
attitude. 45. The mood changes I experience keeps me from living my life to the fullest or requires me to be hospitalized to prevent harm to myself and others. That's a loaded question.
It is.
Um, require me to be hospitalized. I don't know if those two should be together, but we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say
it's interesting that they combine these types of questions together. That's what I'm saying. Like,
to my best life, yes. Not at all.
yeah, I have to
Or
agree.
or requires. It does say or require, but still that they're together, like living for my best life to hospitalization.
Could you imagine answering this for a professional and then them making a judgment based off of the latter half when you meant the other? Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, like I can explain that. Like even all the things that we've talked about up until 45 now, that there was some type of explanation to why we're dealing with such and such, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that prevalent that you may not even think that you're going through something, but because of the climate that we're in, you may be going through something. Okay. So no, not at all.
Not at all.
All right, 15 more to go.
Ooh, in the last year, have you used any of the following substances? If so, how often?
Come on, let's be honest with ourselves.
In
This
the
is not fair.
world, apparently.
Could you see someone who has a mental health issues with patience to sit through this long process. No, mom, I can't. Um, but this process is actually pretty quick when you're doing it yourself. Um, you're able to answer these like Kendra did it, and it looked like 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not that long. But if we're having a conversation about it, of course, we're just gonna sit here and talk about it. Alcohol, never.
No, that's a no.
Hold on, following. Uh, hallucinogens, never.
How you
Okay,
skip
alcohol a
47?
few times a year. To be honest, let's be honest.
Last year,
Cannabis.
wait, in what? Oh, in the last year.
If so, how often?
Yeah, that's like a
Cannabis.
it's
Cannabis
more
is
rare.
medicine now, guys. But be careful.
Now, be careful.
Be careful. What they're pushing out now is not necessarily what is medicine. Just know that. So nope, not at all. We don't do cannabis because we know better.
Say no.
Just say no. Wasn't that the campaign? I think that's what saved me though, was to just say no campaign. Hallucinogens. Nowadays, people are taking all kind of things, the magic mushrooms. So nah. In order for us to keep a stable
Yeah,
mind, guys, it's very important that you put these things into check. No matter even if you're
absolutely.
being honest about them or not, just put your stuff in check. These things do not
Yep.
need to be abused. Inhalants, glue, aerosols, lighter fluid, gasoline,
Hmm.
products used to mind altering purposes other than what they're intended for.
Hmm.
This is an epidemic too, but
It
we'll
is
talk
the
about it later.
huffing.
But
Yeah,
no, of course, no.
that's enough.
I'm scared of drugs, to be honest. The 80s, the crack
Yeah,
epidemic scared me straight.
scared straight. Absolutely,
Scared straight.
absolutely.
So I try not to abuse anything.
Wow, look at this list. So I can imagine. Mm-mm.
No inhalants. Ooh, no, no, no.
50 is
Just be careful.
opioids,
Even
heroin,
alcohol, even
codeine.
marijuana. Although these things are legal, be careful. Like you could still become addicted to them, especially marijuana. I see all the billboards, all the
Right,
advertising.
right.
It's absolutely absurd. We can get into that another day, but the way that they're pushing it on our youth, somebody has to say something about it. We got to do something now, otherwise it's going to be a problem later. Um, I'm ready for. I do assessments, and
50?
they are a long process because mental health because with mental health you have to make sure they understand what the questions are actually asking. I would agree, and that's the reason why we're like diving through them right now. Cynthia Brady, can't keep calling you my godmom. Um, Opioids, heroin, cocaine, morphine, oxycontins. I see this being a problem nowadays.
No.
Um,
Either.
in the last year, have you used the following substance? If so, how often? Never. Scared of those
Yeah,
things.
these are never. These are.
Um, with the
I didn't
fentanyl epidemic that's going on right now, I need
right,
everybody to be aware. Um,
right.
in Narcans, I am for Narcans. I'm for every citizen having a Narcan. Okay,
Mm.
next one, 51.
The sedatives, hypnotics. I can't even say that word. And say that
I
anxiolytics, anxiolytics, Valium, Xanax, Restoril, Ativan. I didn't know Xanax was
pills,
a sedative.
axiolinix,
Hypnotics.
hypnotic.
I'm gonna
I
have to
guess
look that up. I'm not
there's
as familiar.
different things.
Yeah, not super
Um,
familiar.
no, I'm scared of pills
Yup.
because of everything that's going on. Just don't take no pills from no. And again, hold on, let me back up. I need parents to know and to be aware to let their children know not to take anything from their friends.
Yeah.
Nothing. No pills from your friends. and people who abuse meth can be diagnosed with meth-inducing schizophrenia. I heard about that.
Yep.
I'm baffled by that, Mom. I actually want to talk to you more about that because I'm seeing this, and it's weird how it's changing, literally changing the chemicals in their brain to making these people that were once sane unsane, unlike any drug I've ever seen. Stimulants. Are we asking about these same things again? Ecstasy,
no, one
speed.
was sedatives. This one's stimulants: cocaine, ecstasy, speed. Methamphetamine is the meth.
Is cocaine not an opioid?
No, opioids come from poppy. Heroin.
Oh, okay, yeah, poppy plant. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Stimulants. No, we don't do none of those. We scared of those. I'm scared of drugs. So,
Yep.
Maybe that's what preserved me is that I'm scared of drugs. Just say no. It'll save your life or save somebody else's life.
But if you see the difficulty in here is that a lot of these are prescription drugs.
And what is the state
Ritalin
right now?
So stimulants, Ritalin, Concerta, those are for ADHD. Those are ADHD medications. So
and I heard that our teenagers are taking them in school. What is that about? I mean, another topic for another day, but what is that
they
about?
Have an opposite effect. They have an opposite effect on those who they're not prescribed for.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm only thinking when I've seen somebody physically offer Ritalin that they were kind of just like there. So what, it has a caffeine effect on, I don't know. We can talk about it later. We'll research that and talk about it later. 53 other substances not listed. Nah, we don't do those things.
Herbs and plants over here.
And remember, GMO foods as the substance.
Right.
54. I guess it's telling us to.
In the last year, which of the following caused you the most problems socially, at work, school, or in your personal life? No.
They don't say men up there. Yeah, alcohol. Oh yeah, we need to put other. I said other substance. Love can be a substance for sure.
It is a drug. Yeah.
Be mindful of that, folks. That love is a drug as well, good and bad. Okay, so none for me in the last 12 months.
Well, we're done. Oh, okay. This is it. In the last 6 months, did you experience any of the following symptoms related to the use of the problematic substance? Oh, so this is not applicable.
Right. Well, we'll go through them real quick.
Okay.
I tried to cut down, but ended up using it more or for longer than I intended. That's the people that say, I want to stop smoking marijuana. I want to cut back, but now I'm going to be smoking more. Or tend to overdo it.
Okay.
Right? Is that a good analogy?
Yep, I think so.
Or alcohol. Alcohol is another one. You know how usual alcoholics know what the problem is and do all this self-talk to try to talk themselves out of doing it again.
I'm never doing that again. Yeah.
Let me tell you, they give Ritalin and antihistamines. Is that antihistamines? Amphetamines.
Amphetamine.
To kids and then wonder why we have substance use and mental health issues. If you read the side effects, you will be amazed. I know. Absolutely. I dislike it when doctors say, well, the side effects outweigh the benefit. But it's always the problem. Okay, so we're on 57?
56. I continued to use this substance despite the fact that it was affecting my relationships, having arguments with friends or family, got me into trouble at work, home, or affected my health. So
right. So no, like, you know, when we're always taught, when your friends or family come to you and they try to have this intervention and they be like, you have a problem, just take heed. Even if you don't think you have a problem, explore that. Explore what they're saying. Listen. We have to start with an open ear and an open heart for change.
If everybody's telling you the same thing, chances are that there's an issue.
Right. Where are we at? 57?
57.
I experience cravings or withdrawal. Huh?
I was asking, could you see? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying. So correct me if I'm wrong. I experienced cravings or withdrawals symptoms when I wasn't using sweaty, increasing pulse rate, tremors, digestive problems, hallucinogens, anxiety, headaches, fatigue, drowsiness, sleep problems, appetite or weight changes, restlessness, depression, irritability, concentration problems, and muscle pains and fever. Whoa, you can have a fever? Oh, yeah, from withdrawals, huh? Yep. I experienced cravings or withdrawals when I wasn't using. I think that's not everybody goes through withdrawals, Mo. I mean, even with the bare minimum of
sugar. The substance you can withdraw, like you can cut sugar out of your diet and go through withdrawals, like any substance. So, but you're right. I'm not sure if everybody would have the same withdrawal type symptoms, but yeah.
Okay, 58. I would say that was a no for me.
Yeah,
oh, but then again, kids taking those ADHD at 3, 4, and up. I thought kids at that age are supposed to be energetic. They are. Parents need to harness that energy towards something that kids love to do. Indeed, take them to the park, but that might be scary.
Yeah,
take them to the park, get them outside. Because remember, that had a lot to do with our childhood, Mo, being outside. I grew up in this county, and I remember making mud pies.
I was just getting ready to say mud pies.
Like, that was the thing to do. I'd wait for my mud to set and see if I could pick it up. Yeah, like a pie. Like, yeah, we were a mess. But we played outside. We got dirty. There was, it was like Saturdays. You watch your morning cartoons, then you get out the house. We've just changed so much. I don't know what to do. Okay, so 59. I used the substance in situations in which it was physically dangerous or risky to do so. Driving a car, working with tools, sharp objects, climbing a ladder. So are you being irresponsible when you use substances? That's a key to something that's not going right in your thought process. Might want to talk to somebody. Get that under control before you kill somebody on the road. Get that under control before you kill yourself, please.
Yep. Popping pills, operating the forklift.
I used the substance in situations in which it was physically dangerous. Okay, that's what we just went over. Nope. This is the mental health and substance use assessments. They want to see if it's more mental health of the substance or both occurring disorders. Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
I would agree.
Yep.
Thanks, Mom, and she is the one that we should have on here. We'll have her on here
absolutely
soon.
Thank you, Miss Cynthia.
So you can give us context to, like, how are we supposed to be better? Is it the people that we hang around? 60. I had to take. Can you read that, Mo?
I had to take the substance in increasing amounts in order to achieve the effect I wanted.
Is your tolerance growing? Is your tolerance growing for your substance that you like? Just something to take heed of. Maybe. And I know that most people know this and have been through these. I just wanted to give you guys a quick, tool to where we could just know where we're at personally. Let's score this test. I'm scared.
It really has a score.
I spend a lot
Yep,
of
it's
time
on the
thinking.
DSM scale.
Oh, we missed one? I spent a lot of time covering up my use and planning ahead to make sure I would have enough of the substance to get me through the day. Are you making sure you have that fifth in the trunk when you get off of work? That might be a problem. No, seriously, because I don't want you going out and
No,
drinking and
for real,
driving
like
and killing somebody or killing yourself. I mean, just be aware. And just to be honest, because this is the world that we live in. If you're doing something, be responsible about what you do. My mom said tolerance. Okay, I'm
increasing.
scored.
Okay.
Who knows? I can't read that.
They give you
It's okay.
tentative diagnosis on here.
This screening tool evaluates whether you show symptoms of certain mental disorders. The criteria used to determine whether you might be diagnosed with a disorder are taken from the Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. I'm not going to read the rest. I want to see what my score was. I'm scared.
There they go.
Go down. I'm scared.
Right.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Substance use disorder, note. Major depressive disorder, though. 28%. Manic episode, 19%. Bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. Didn't I tell y'all?
Yeah.
I told you I knew what was wrong with me.
Yep.
I told you I knew what was wrong with me. And this is where I want you guys to get, just to know where that stress is coming from. Like PTSD is real, like especially in the Black woman. Generalized anxiety disorder, indeed, because I'm nervous. Panic disorder. I'm panicking when I'm in public. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
PTSD, though, I told you guys that I knew what was wrong with me.
That's the primary one. Huh?
I just want you guys to be empowered to know where you're at. Panic attack, 22%. Panic disorder, 30%. PTSD, 81%.
Wow.
Dang.
That was crazy. I didn't know those folks was up in there.
55 on the PTSD.
And here they give us the likely diagnosis. This is very loose. Please don't take this to heart. If you feel like you have some issues, please get in contact with your local mental health institution. Every county has one. Go talk to somebody. If you need us, if you want to just talk, you can always hit us up. Under this by the DSM-6. What is that, Mom? I don't know what the DMS/6 is. They measure the criteria with the DMSV.
Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition.
Oh, okay. Isn't that what we read? Oh, okay. This is what you said right here. Okay.
Yep. I'm just reading it.
Oh, I see what the criteria are. Oh, I see. See, again, people, this is something that we should be looking into ourselves. Like, if you feel like any of this was you, go research it. Get help. And believe it or not, like I keep saying, you can heal yourself just by knowing, by being in the know. DMS. Let's see. Confirmed. Okay. Here's the ways to choose a therapist. Choose a therapist who feels right for you. I've definitely been to therapists that I didn't feel like was aligned with me. So I changed them and I looked for somebody that was aligned with me. Confirm what your insurance covers. Confirm that your insurance covers the type of therapy you are seeking. There's a lot of free agencies out there, free programs for mental health, though. Consider the type of treatment that you need. Some people need psychiatrists. Some people need psychologists. Some people just need therapists. Some people need medicine. Some people do not. I will always tell you guys to opt for whatever you need, but things can be done without medicine. Ensure that the therapist's licensing requirements are up to date. Ask your friends and family. Ask questions. Be sure that the therapist creates an environment of respect in his or her sessions. Did you know that most mental health counselors have mental health diagnosis? I can agree with that.
Yep.
Like, it makes me wonder why they would want to become mental health counselors in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Um, hmm.
That's that peer counselor designation as well. You get
right.
like
And
I
Denitra
took
does
one.
that. I wanted to
Yeah.
talk to her about that peer counseling because she does that, which
Yeah.
is, she says, it's been very beneficial to her. Ensure that
It-
the therapist's morals and values are similar to yours. I can't stress that enough. Your therapist will not understand your walk if they don't understand your walk.
That's right.
So make sure that you pick somebody that you're comfortable with, telling your personal problems to, because this is you trying to dig down deep to become better, a better you. Anything else, Mo?
This was really informative. It was really good. And just speaking to what you said about the peer counseling, it was like going through therapy myself, although I was qualified to work as a maternal mental health peer counselor. So it was specifically for maternal health. But it was like right on time for me. So I'm going through it, I'm doing the work. It's like you have to do the work first and be present, hold space for where people are at. So yeah, like you said, the psychology versus psychiatry. Not everybody wants a prescribing medication. They don't want
Right.
substances. Some people just want someone who gets them and can help them, um, help walk them through their choices. What their options are.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And there's always a better way. If you don't think that this is the best way, there's always a better way to walk and live.
Yep.
And honestly, that's just starts with the self,
Yep.
loving yourself, making sure you pour that love into our kids. My mom said that people closest to the problem do the best work. I would agree.
Absolutely.
Before I this work, I had went to one of my mentors and I said, "Am I qualified to do this healing work
Right.
while I'm healing?" And she said, "Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You're the best candidate for it. You
Best
just walk
time
out
to
of
do
it."
it
Right. Right. So I
when it's
totally agree with
fresh.
you.
Even while you're doing it, it's like bringing somebody along with you on your healing journey, and you're showing them how you are doing it. Like that's real time training. That's like, come on, I'm gonna walk with you. I might be like 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, but I'm gonna show you how I got here, how I'm doing it, and just keep reaching back, bringing people with you.
And as you guys can see, that there are quite a few POC or African American counselors out there. So link up with them. Go get the assistance that you need to just start being better. That's what it's about. In order for us to stop the gang violence, the gun violence, all the violence in our country, we have to start somewhere, and we need to start with the self and being better, and just walking this life in a different light, so we don't walk around with all the hatred and the heaviness on our shoulders, because it's time to just be better. I think, would you agree, Mo?
I do. I agree. Start from
Wow,
where you are.
guys, we went
We
way over
did.
schedule. We went like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just to
Wow.
give you this information. Like, this was just that important to me. I really just wanted to have a candid conversation because this really hurt my heart this week.
Yep.
The 4 babies that were shot at. This has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. We have to start loving ourselves, loving our kids, loving the place where we live, loving our country if this is the country that we're going to stay in. And you have all the options to changing the way that we look at things. Social constructs are only created by the people. So if you wanted to change the narrative. We're here to change the narrative. I love you guys always. We will see next week. We have some really great things in store. I want to thank you, everybody that was watching. as well as make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I do have to pay the bill somehow. Peace. Thank you, Mo.
Shout out to the Conduit for putting up with us for 2 hours.
My soul sisters, no matter how near or how far, you are invited to a platform where we uplift, encourage, and motivate you to be exactly who you are. Soul ties, soul tribes, solutions, and soul infusions. Come join us as we overstand and undo the divinities that have been placed amongst us on this very land. So what can you expect? Crown checks, temperature checks, microphone checks. Wait till you see what's next. Welcome, Soul Sisters.